When the dead one had uttered all these words, she disappeared. I sank into gloominess and dull confusion. When I looked up again, I saw my soul in the upper realms, hovering irradiated by the distant brilliance that streamed from the Godhead. You know what has taken place. You see that it surpasses the power and understanding of a man, but I accept it for your sake and mine. To be crucified on the tree of life, O bitterness! O painful silence! If it weren't you, my soul, who touched the fiery heaven and the eternal fullness, how could I? I cast myself before human animals, O most unmanly torment. I must let my virtues, my best ability be torn apart, because they are still thorns in the side of the human animal. Not death for the sake of the best, but baffling and rending of the most beautiful for the sake of life. As I proclaimed these words, I noticed that Philemon stood behind me and had given them to me. He came alongside me invisibly, and I felt the presence of the good and the beautiful, and he spoke to me with a soft deep voice.
What a devilish farce she carries on with you. As long as she still arrogates divine power over you. She's an unruly child and a bloodthirsty daemon at the same time, a tormentor of humans without equal, precisely because she has divinity. Why? Where from? Because you venerate her. The dead too want the same thing. Why don't they stay quiet? Because they have not crossed over to the other side. Why do they want sacrifice? So they can live. But why do they still want to live with men? Because they want to rule. They have not come to an end with their craving for power, since they died still lusting for power. A child, an old man, an evil woman, a spirit of the dead, and a devil are beings who need to be humored. Fear the soul, despise her, love her, just like the gods. May they be far from us. But above all never lose them. Because when lost they are as malicious as the serpent, as bloodthirsty as the tiger that pounces on the unsuspecting from behind. A man who goes astray becomes an animal, a lost soul becomes a devil. She is a hellish divine treasure to be kept behind walls of iron, and in the deepest vault, she always wants to get out and scatter glittering beauty. Beware, because you have already been betrayed. You'll never find a more disloyal, more cunning and heinous woman than your soul. How should I praise the miracle of her beauty and perfection? Does she not stand in the brilliance of immortal youth? Is her love not intoxicating vine and her wisdom the primordial cleverness of serpents? Shield men from her and her from men, listen to what she wails and sings in prison, but don't let her escape, as she will immediately turn whore, as her husband you are blessed through her, and therefore cursed. She belongs to the demonic race of the Tom-Thumbs and giants, and is only distantly related to humankind. If you seek to grasp her in human terms you will be beside yourself. The excess of your rage, your doubt, and your love belong to her, but only the excess. If you give her this excess, humanity will be saved from the nightmare. For if you do not see your soul, you see her in fellow men, and this will drive you mad, since this devilish mystery and hellish spook can hardly be seen through. Know that the daemons would like to inflame you to embrace their work, which is not yours. And, you fool, you believe that it is you and that it is your work. Why? Because you can't distinguish yourself from your soul, but you are distinct from her, and you should not pursue whoring with other souls, as if you yourself were a soul, but instead you are a powerless man who needs all his force for his own completion. Why do you look to the other? What you see in him lies neglected in yourself. You should be the guard before the prison of your soul. You are your soul's eunuch, who protects her from gods and men, or protects the gods and men from her. Power is given to the weak man, a poison that paralyzes even the gods, like a poisoned sting bestowed upon the little bee whose force is far inferior to yours. Your soul could seize this poison and thereby endanger even the gods. So put the soul under wraps, distinguish yourself from her, since not only your fellow men, but also the gods must live.
When Philemon had finished, I turned to my soul, who had come nearer from above during Philemon's speech, and spoke to her. Have you heard what Philemon has been saying? How does this tone strike you? Is his advice good?
Do not mock, or else you strike yourself. Do not forget to love me.
It is difficult for me to unite hate and love.
Hate and love mean the same to me. Like all women of my kind, form matters less to me than that everything belong to me, or else to no one. I am also jealous of the hate you give others. I want everything, since I need everything for the great journey that I intend to begin after your disappearance. I must prepare in good time. Until then I must make timely provision, and much is still lacking.
And do you agree that I throw you into prison?
Of course, there I have peace and can collect myself. Your human world makes me drunk, so much human blood I could get intoxicated on it to the point of madness. Doors of iron, walls of stone, cold darkness and the rations of penance that is the bliss of redemption. You do not suspect my torment when the bloody intoxication seizes me, hurls me again and again into living matter from a dark fearful creative urge that formerly brought me close to the lifeless and ignited the terrible lust for procreation in me. Remove me from conceiving matter, the rotting feminine of yawning emptiness. Force me into confinement where I can find resistance in my own law, where I can think about the journey, the rising sun the dead one spoke of, and the buzzing, melodious golden wings. Be thankful, don't you want to thank me? You are blinded. You deserve my highest thanks.
How divinely beautiful you are. And at the same time fury seized me. Oh, bitterness. You have dragged me through sheer and utter hell, you have tormented me nearly to death, and I long for your thanks. Yes, I am moved that you thank me, the hound's nature lies in my blood. Therefore I am bitter for my sake, since how does it move you? You are divine and devilishly great, wherever and howsoever you are. As yet I am only your eunuch doorkeeper, no less imprisoned than you. Speak, you concubine of heaven, you divine monster. Have I not fished you from this swamp? How do you like the black hole? Speak without blood, sing from your own force, you have gorged yourself on men.
Pity, have compassion.
Compassion. Have you ever had compassion for me? You tormentor. You've never gotten past compassionate moods. You lived on human food and drank my blood. Has it made you fat? Will you learn to revere the torment of the human animal? What would you souls and gods want without man? Why do you long for him? Speak.
My speech stops. I'm horrified at your accusation.
Are you going to get serious? Are you going to have second thoughts? Are you going to learn modesty or perhaps even some other human virtue, you soulless soul being? Yes, you have no soul, because you are the thing itself, you fiend. Would you like a human soul? Should I perhaps become your earthly soul so that you will have a soul? You see, I've gone to your school. I've learned how one behaves as a soul, perfectly ambiguous, mysteriously untruthful and hypocritical. While I spoke to my soul in this way, Philemon stood silently a little distance off. But now he stepped forward, laid his hand on my shoulder, and spoke in my name.